In this episode, we finish our Crystal Oscillator factory, set up a complete assembly for 30 circuit boards per minute, and produce our first high-speed connectors. Yo, hello everybody, welcome back to Prone to Play and my Let's Play series of Satisfactory. In the last episode, after finishing our setup for production of AI limiters, we started our building in order to produce 4 crystal oscillators per minute. And today the scope is to finish this and then continue with our to-do list. And I was kind of busy in between episodes, so I want to catch up really quick. First things first, since I spent a lot of time with experimenting and testing things out and getting a little bit more advanced with buildings, I accumulated a lot of coupons and spent them already. So we have now actually most of the Awesome Shop achievements unlocked. I think the only stuff that's still to buy is the indoor lighting, the floodlights, then the clean pipelines Mark II. We got all the foundations, and I tried to get a little bit more creative and diverse with building style. We got all the walls now, including gates. We got all the architecture. Only the grip metal foundation material is missing, and we still need to get our coffee cup, but this is for when the work is done. So yeah, we have almost everything from the Awesome Shop available now and can go a little bit more wild with aesthetics. And what I also did was I was thinking about trying to set up a new base, and since I wanted to match the theme of the desert, I went with an upside down pyramid or the lower half of the pyramid and let it float right into the air. This is inspired by Mario Odyssey, I think was the game, where you have a desert level and there's a pyramid floating mid-air as well. But I really liked the idea, so I tried. And you actually have to climb up here, and I put a little jump pad around here, and then you can enter the pyramid, even though it's not a complete pyramid, from down under. And then we have some stuff over here. I don't know whether or not this will stay, but I was experimenting a lot, and since you can also run along tilted walls, which this building consists of or is made of, since you can run along them, I tried this out, and for now this is the result. And I also got a little bit, I tried some things out with the existing buildings. So let's drive to the Caterium factory and let me show you what I did in between. Okay, let's start at the copper factory actually. I completely encased this miner with steel reinforced windows as well as a steel roof. And then here, this is again, since I like the ambience of the desert, mostly glass, but nothing too crazy, so nothing from the factory layout has changed, and I tried to go a little bit more with angled structures. Now this is a combination of ramps, so that it looks a little bit more diverse other than simply pulling down pillars. And all the conveyor belt which brings the copper sheet to our Caterium factory is now enclosed in steel bolts. Finally getting dragged down in the lift. Don't mind this, this is still an experiment, a leftover of an experiment. And currently this is the Caterium factory. Again, a little bit more, I tried to bring in some shape with tilted walls down under, I didn't want to mess around too much with the roof since this one was already existing, like you see it here. But I put the entrance a little bit behind so that you have some depth in this entrance room, and also worked around with painted pillars or painted beams. And here the separation glass wall is completely gone, so you have a little bit more open space. I didn't mess with logistics and trying to hide it, but instead I implemented another smart splitter for feeding the overflow of the AI limiters to this awesome sink. So far for the Caterium. Let's move on to the Crystal Oscillator. And I basically finished the building over there. The only thing that's left to do, and we will do this together, is to implement the manufacturers for the Crystal Oscillators, and then everything will be up and running. And here we are at our Crystal Oscillator factory. Now this actually continues the theme of steel walls, and I messed around with the fixed walls a little bit as well, as you can see here. And also I tried out how a logistics floor will look when you can look up from down under by using glass frames foundations. I was kind of worried that there's too much of reflection, but all in all it's not that bad. Maybe I will duplicate this in the future for other buildings, but yeah, even especially when there's more complex logistics down under, when you have a lot of manufacturers and a lot of different conveyor belt lines, this might look very interesting. But yeah, for now let's leave it be, just as I said, an experiment. I also completed the quartz crystal and silica factory as a building in total by putting, I think again, steel roof on top and using the hex frames, should it be? Yes, hex frame windows. Again, nothing too crazy. This is again a very rectangle shaped factory because I didn't want to mess too much with the stuff that's already existing. And then the two conveyor belt lines for quartz crystal and silica. There's nothing stored up over there anymore, nor does it get synced in the awesome sink, but instead everything will be transported over here to this little logistics cargo floor, and the storage containers where everything will eventually land is equipped with signs so that you can see from outside what's in there. And you can also see that the quartz crystal storage containers and silica are completely backed up, so the overflow is getting fed into an awesome sink. And since this building here is not hooked up and not running completely, nothing is happening here, but eventually this will be the same. So let's go to the inside. I also varied a little bit with the metal pillars and supports, and since the ground for this building is even, I had to use different, but the ground of the desert is not. I had to use different heights of pillars, and yeah, I tried to look that these are a little bit more dynamic and adjustable. For example, this is way longer than this one, and here it's basically only pillar supports, and this is simply because of the different heights of the ground under the building. So yeah, it looks a little bit different, but difference is good for the moment. And here we have our stair hall, also equipped with a little hypertube. Down under you have the logistics floor. Nothing too crazy here for now. And the layout for the machines is almost exactly as we left it in the last episode. I started a little bit with color coding. So these are the iron ingots. These are the screws and iron plates, and on the other side you have the copper with the copper ingots, and then the wire, and then the cables, which is why they are completely black and with a little bit yellow or golden for the wire in between. I just thought it would look nice. And with the reinforced iron plates, it's the same color code as the constructors. And here we had to extend the height of the room a little bit, since the manufacturers are much higher than the other machines. I don't know why this is looking the way it looks, but I think I have to connect this lift down under, because the idea, this is just left over from the building process, the idea is that the output of the 4 manufacturers, I prepared the floor holes already, and the idea is that the output, in this case the crystal oscillators, will be fed down under, merged onto one conveyor belt, and then as a display run a little bit alongside this floor, and then finally get fed down and getting transported straight to our storage location. So, do I have everything? No, of course I forgot the plastic. Let me pick up some stuff again, and then we will meet here in a minute again. Okay, I'm back. Not well prepared from my side, excuse me. And I also found already other mistakes, because, let me show you really quick. In the logistics floor down under, I think eventually I will connect the quartz crystal factory and the silica factory directly to the network or the power network of this factory. And I already connected the quartz crystal factory side to this power network, and here the power switch is still off, but because the quartz factory is also connected to the main grid, everything else here was already powered on. So this is why we already have some copper ingots, wire and also cable completely backed up, which was not the intention. And here actually all that I have to do is connect the cable over here. And the quartz crystal is already prepared for the manufacturers, so is the cable now. And the miner for the iron ore was actually not hooked up with the conveyor belts or the smelters, so nothing happened with the iron factory. But for now, everything should be prepared as soon as we connect the manufacturers. Now, is this in line? Looking good. Yes. And now we have to put down our 4 manufacturers. And before I connect them, let me show you another thing, because I fixed the power switch now, feeding here with this wall outlet to the main grid, and then getting connected to the factory power grid over here. And currently we have 158 megawatts with our miners, smelters, constructors and assemblers over here. So these 4 manufacturers alone are responsible for more than 50% of the power consumption of this building. But without further delay, let's finish these really quick. Connect everything. Hook them up to power. I prepared the power lines as well. Select the right recipes. And And all that should be left to do is to flip the switch, because now everything should be prepared. So, let's see. Yeah, the power consumption went from 158 to 378, so 4 times 55 megawatts equals the 4 manufacturers. Now, let's go. Let's see if everything is correct now. And since we can't look from up here, let's watch our logistics flow first. Cable is feeding in. Or is it? I wonder if it's connected above already. The quartz crystal is feeding in. Let me check if the manufacturers are backing up. This one is. This one's not. Why is that? Okay, it's nighttime again, and I think I figured it out, but I still don't know the reason. So, as you can see, when I set down a lift, the items are getting transported up here. So the only issue was the connection between this lift and the manufacturer. And I tried it, I don't know how many times, and every time this connection would not exist, so the conveyor lift would not connect appropriately. But now I did not set down the manufacturer by holding control, but instead I tried to aim it manually, and this leads to a little bit of soft clipping, as you can see here, but now the lift connects, at least with this one. So yeah, I don't know. I have to double check the logistics down under again, because I tried to resolve it by moving the splitters and conveyor belts over here, and I think I have not hooked up everything appropriately again. So let me fix this one really quick again. Okay. This should do it. Let's flip the switches on these. I know the only limiting factor is reinforced iron plates, since we have this one on manifold now and not loaded up, unlike the other ones. It could take a while, but now our first crystal oscillators are getting produced. Here only quartz crystal is missing, but it's getting filled up very nicely. And now it already exceeded the backed up items. Yeah, it's still receiving parts. Okay. And now let's wait until the first crystal oscillator arrives. I hope... no, I have not connected all the manufacturers, but now I did. And now let's wait for the first crystal oscillator. And there we have it. Finally. This one is still idle, but it takes the longest until it receives the the necessary amount of reinforced iron plates. But the next set of 2 should come up here any moment. And when this comes up here, I know that the logistics down under is hooked up appropriately. Nice. Finally. Okay. Perfect. Let's tick this off the list. Alright. Crystal oscillators are up and running. Now, what next? I think I will take care of circuit boards. And for this I will also rearrange our oil processing plant at the moment, because we are producing way more rubber than necessary. All the rubber that's coming out of there is either getting synced or processed into modular engines. By the way, apart from the 500 that we need in order to complete phase 3, I synced all modular engines that we produced additionally into the awesome sync in order to get the coupons, or to get more coupons and unlock all the cosmetics. So yeah, we still have the 500 plus what's backed up at the manufacturer at our bases right now, but just so you know where some of the coupons come from, and I think we backed up more than 1,000 that were getting synced, and these alone gave me I think 4 or 5 coupons, so it was not bad. But this can be left alone now for the moment. And also the backed up cable, since all the wire is getting crafted into cables, we have now I think an excess. I'm already manually put something in here, so this is why there's so much cable already. But I think we have an excess of 56 or 64 per minute, so quite amount. And here our crystal oscillators get stored as well. Alright, I'm back at the bases now, and before I forget it, I want to give you a quick overview about the final result of our crystal oscillator setup. So I prepared an overview again, and here you can see the streamlines combined, which lead to our total output of 4 crystal oscillators per minute, as well as some cable, quartz crystal and silica. And once, or after this is done now, I am going to continue with dealing with our circuit board setup. And I have not decided yet what to do exactly, but let me head to our refinement really quick and then I will meet you there again. Alright, and here we are back at our refinement. And I don't have a specific plan laid out already for our circuit boards that we are now setting up, but I think this build here is going to change again, since we have backed up a whole container, at least I think so, of polymer resin. Yes, this is getting synced at the moment. And I brought some packaged fuel that backed up completely here as well back to the bases already. And there's no need to produce either any further, so I think I will reuse and rearrange these refineries at least. And if we have any further use in the future, simply rearrange these again and reset a package for packaged fuel and so on. But at the moment there's absolutely no need. We have hundreds of polymer resin, we have hundreds of, or even thousands of fabric and packaged fuel as well, so absolutely no need to let this getting synced. And we need 15 copper sheets and 30 plastic per minute in order to produce 7.5 circuit board in one assembler. And there's a normal copper node over there, which would give us access to 60 copper sheets at max with normal clock speed. So we would be able to produce 30 circuit boards, but that would require us to produce 120 plastic, which is doable. But then again, only using these two extractors with 120 and 120 oil gives us, I think, a total output of 120 divided by rubber and plastic completely free, since we can decide how to divide this output, and it's basically the same whether we choose plastic or rubber. So we would need 120 plastic for the circuit boards, and then have 60 as a rest. So 30 rubber and 30 plastic maybe, but then again, why having so much circuit boards in the first place? I'm not sure if I will set up a computer production site anywhere anytime soon here as well. Let's start with the copper arrangement first. I will simply put down another miner house here and build the copper sheet production off camera, I think, because you already saw me doing it quite an amount of time. I have the concrete in my trunk. Yeah, I already built a copper sheet layout multiple times already, so there's no need to show this more often. It will basically be the complete copy of the build that is for our AI limiters. And I'm a little bit hesitant to build stuff here at the moment, since I'm still not sure what's gonna happen in the update 8. Might be that there is a big change coming to this area. There's not so much planned for the dune deserts, at least according to the updates of Coffee Stain Studios and the teasers, but there will be something big coming up for this area around here, which connects the dune desert to the next area. So yeah, I don't want to build everything over here and then completely destroy the environment and have to rearrange stuff very, very soon. Alright, we have a 4x4 foundation. Then let's go with a lookout tower. This should be in line with everything. And let's see if we can place down a miner. Yeah, looking good. Alright. And here our copper sheet production will take place. And for now, since this is backing up very, very fast as well, and this is currently used for our temporary modular engine production, or our coupon farm as I use it at the moment, maybe I simply cut off 30 plastic of the given setup. Let me do the copper setup really quick for the copper sheet, and then I will come back to you again. Okay, here we are again. Simple, quick and dirty. We have a Mark II miner with 120 copper output per minute, feeding into 4 smelters, set on copper, feeding into 6 constructors, producing 10 copper sheets per minute each, with a total output of 60 copper sheets. Everything hooked up already, but not connected to the power grid yet. And while preparing this, I decided what I will do with our refinement setup. And since we still have another 30 crude oil to spare here anyways, we will make use of the whole 240 crude oil that's available at these two normal oil nodes, and leave this be for the moment. And we will transport 120 plastic over there, make them meet with the copper sheets and have a total output of 30 circuit boards per minute. Because why not? There's no reason to not do this at the moment, and if necessary we can simply change things again in the future. So let me add some more refineries here really quick, and in order to have this simple, let me simply disconnect the oil extractors for the moment. Then we will have to move these last 2 refineries. And do some rearrangements really quick. There's no need for this at the moment. Okay, now we are left with 4 refineries. And we simply add 4 more. Okay, we have to move this. Let me make some space. And I will take this to the bases later and store it away there. And the packaged fuel as well. Alright, so store all. Let's only take the stuff we need for the moment. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 refineries. Now the last 2 will be separated from the rest, but everything will be connected to one oil pipeline. God damn it. Okay, that's oil feeding in, and then we have to... Are these still producing? Wow, these have a lot of backup. Okay, this is not anymore. This neither. Okay, finally. So, once this is gone, we will have to connect 6. This one has to go for the moment as well. We'll connect the first 6 refineries. Let's build the basics first, because we have to deal with all the byproducts and outputs either way. Is this still in use? No, it's not. I have not counted how much heavy oil residue this is yet. I think it's 7 times 10 is 70 plus another 20 from the rubber, 90. Okay, so we have to add another refinery to handle the heavy oil residue by converting it into petroleum coke, or we have to think about something else. Okay, where was I? 6. Okay, this is all the plastic necessary for the circuit boards. And this is not needed anymore. And 6. Okay, and we will drag a conveyor belt later to the platform over there. I have also not decided yet whether or not I will do some cosmetics over here, because once update 8 kicks, we will first do our world exploration tour, check out all the new overhaul of the map. Second, collect all hard drives while doing so. Third, finish all milestones ASAP. And fourth, come to my big goal that I want to reach once this all is done and available. Okay, and this one is simply back up for now. Come to think of it, that's basically no difference, but just to have some more distinguishment from these 6 that are processed further, I will do this. And I think I still have not set the recipes correct. This is rubber and all the other ones are plastic. And these should be still correct. Yes, okay. Alright, alright. This is this. Do I have room for more refineries, or do I have to rearrange them as well? I think I have to. But I have to move a lot of stuff here. Anyways. Where is the... Okay. Do I have room at the end? Yes, a little bit. Just barely though, okay. Whoops. And what about this? That's fine. And here comes the third. Also room for the pipeline junctions. Actually, I've not thought about where to lead all this heavy oil residue. Maybe from here, so I don't interfere with the conveyor belts. Maybe like this. Okay. Yeah, and I have to think about if there's a better way to handle the heavy oil residue, but for now I mostly want to get the circuit boards up and running. Oh no, I actually need Mark II here and here. And then this has to go in the... or maybe I do it the other way, since the... Nah, I will do the fine adjustments later on. So now this goes... here. Okay, or this is not necessary anyways. Okay, I will delete this later as well. So, next up we have... Let me actually drag the foundations for the moment, so I have to know the height of a lift or how to... solve this problem next. This is one too high, isn't it? Maybe. Let's see. Ah. Okay, let's leave it that way. And how much room do 4 assemblers need? Let's face them that way, so we have the output over here. Oh, that's a little bit too close. Maybe here. Yeah, why not? 2. Three, 4. All right. These will be our circuit boards assemblers. And let me finish up the conveyors really quick, the power lines. And once we are completely able to start this production again, I will come back to you. Okay. If I have done everything correctly, there should only be 3 things left to do. Actually, let me check if I have set all the recipes correctly over here. No, this one has not circuit board selected yet. But the rest have. Okay. Now, in order to get this up and running, we have to do first connect the oil extractors again. Which starts up our refineries. Then we have to connect our plastic. And this one is Mark III for the moment because I ran out of reinforced iron plates for the Mark II conveyor belts and I don't have the motivation to run back at the moment, but I will fix this later. And third is to hook up the copper sheet production and the assemblers to the power grid. Just double check, 112 megawatts necessary. We have enough to spare. On we go. And this will give us copper sheet in just a minute. Okay, everything works. First copper sheets coming out as well. And then all the 60 copper sheets will merge here eventually and again get fed along these assemblers. Now these have some time in order to get filled up with plastic. And the petroleum coke should get synced as well. Let's check this really quick. Yes, awesome. I will clean this up later as well. And the first assembler is already running, and there we have circuit boards number 1. Very, very nice. Okay, this will take some time until it runs smoothly, as always. But Eventually we will have an output of 30 circuit boards per minute. And also I think I will have to set up an awesome sink here as well, so the possible coupons will not get wasted, or the points at least. Okay, this is circuit boards done as well. Now let me clean up this place from the remaining empty logistics, bring everything to the bases that's not necessary here anymore, and then we will see if we still have time for the high-speed connector setup. Okay, I'm back at the bases yet again, and I already prepared the last to-do for today, which is set up a temporary manufacturer for the high-speed connectors. I let this one running up until the very last moment, and this is about to go idle, as you can see, since it will run out of rubber in the next seconds. So I can simply clear these out and change the recipe to quick-wire. And all that's left to do is to hook up these materials, which I prepared already: quick-wire, cable and some circuit boards. We will not have to worry about the circuit boards anytime soon with our new setup. So let's feed these in. And we actually can underclock or tune down the clock speed a little bit, because the bells cannot keep up with the amount of quick-wire anyways. Now let's go with 8.25 high-speed connectors per minute. And there we have them already. Okay, going quite fast. And that is everything that we had on our to-do list for today. And I will, I think, build a new and updated storage place in between episodes, because I'm sick of and tired of running around all the time to the other factories, replenishing every part over here. But I'm also quite hesitant still to build a logistics or transport process for bringing everything here automatically, because I'm still curious for all the changes that are about to come with update 8, and I don't want to build anything at least out of the desert. As far as I know, the desert will not change very much, if at all. If at all. And so it might be safe to build maybe a train line along all the desert and connect all the factory setups that we have up until now, and bring everything together into one centralized storage location. But I'm not sure about the refinement yet. I have to consider this in between episodes, but I think I will work out something in this matter, and yeah, show the results when the next episode starts. And also we have to think what to do next in order to keep us busy until update 8 comes out and we can start our exploration tour. Oh, and by the way, this is the current streamline process for our refinement. Now some changes again, and we added some copper input and have now 30 circuit boards as an output, as well as a little bit reduced plastic and rubber. But yeah, the main thing is that we now have our output for the circuit boards. But I think for now that's everything for today. As always, feel free to drop feedback, let me know what you think, any improvement tips, and thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next episode.